So, this is Aljaws coming at you with another video. So, I would like to make a video about my schizophrenia, my paranoid schizophrenia. Hold on. So, I'd like to say that this is just, it's not like something like I'm a doctor or something. It's just that I've been diagnosed with a mental illness and I went through the mental health system and all that kind of stuff, but I'm not a doctor or anything. I just read what I'm told on my medical report and what the doctors say about me and stuff like that, and my own experience with schizophrenia. So I want to tell you about, just quickly tell you about what happened to me when I was diagnosed and what it was like in hospital and shit like that. So, and also my own experiences with my schizophrenia. So, I'll start off saying that I got diagnosed with schizophrenia when I was around 19 years old or something. I got hospitalized and they put me in hospital, put me on medication, sectioned me. I'm living in the UK in England, so when they take you to hospital by force, it's called a section, and so that means you're not allowed to leave no matter what, unless the doctor says so or something. If you want to leave, then you'd have to like appeal against the section, but you can't actually leave unless the doctor says so, and so you're there against your will. So I was in that hospital against my will, and I was there for like maybe a year or even 2 years or something. So I got put on medication, antipsychotic medication, and they said I had schizophrenia, and they said it's paranoid schizophrenia. So what the medication does, it's antipsychotic, so it's supposed to relieve the symptoms of psychosis, which is what you go through when you have schizophrenia. So I think it relieves the symptoms, and it like lowers down the psychosis. And also it's also a mood stabilizer. So when you have schizophrenia, for example, like if you have depression, then you have too low dopamine. Your dopamine is too low, and when you have bipolar, your dopamine is irregular or something. It's like it's all over the place. And when you have schizophrenia, it means you have too much high dopamine. So dopamine is like when you feel good, or like, let's say, I don't know, you take a drug like cocaine, and then your dopamine goes way through the roof, and you feel amazing, you feel great. And so I think that's what dopamine does. I'm not a doctor, but I think that's what dopamine does. So when they say schizophrenia have too much dopamine, it's things about like pleasure and feeling good, things like that. And it also affects the way you think. So when you have a lot of dopamine, it affects the way you think. So I think that's the basis of what they call schizophrenia. And there's things like, when you have schizophrenia, there's like you have hallucinations, and hallucinations is like when you see things that are not there, or you hear things that other people can't hear. Like when you hear things that no one else can hear. So you're not hearing actual real things that are happening, but it's that your schizophrenia, your mind, is telling you that you're hearing something, but you can't hear. Other people can't hear what you hear. So and also there's this thing about delusions, like it's like strong beliefs where you believe something that I think is not true, and other people, they don't believe it, but you believe it, and it's not actually true. So that's what delusions means. So that's basically what schizophrenia is. I don't know the whole, like definition or something, but but I got a leaflet. This was sent to me by my mental health team. This is because I asked the doctor to send me this information about schizophrenia. So this is a little leaflet, like a booklet kind of thing, that tells you about what schizophrenia is, and it tells you stuff like symptoms, like tells you like what is schizophrenia, and symptoms and stuff like that, all that kind of stuff. Hold on. And I know that people, they get a lot of stigma with this kind of stuff, so I thought I could make this video to like help those people that have been diagnosed with schizophrenia. For me, I was diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia. For other people, it might be just schizophrenia or schizoaffective. So schizoaffective is like a mixture between like a mood illness and the actual schizophrenia. So it means you have schizophrenia and you have a mood disorder like bipolar or something. So like problems with mood, either you're feeling too bad or you're feeling too good or something. So that's what the bipolar thing is, mixed. And then there's the schizophrenia. So both of them put together is what you'd call schizoaffective. So alright, so sorry, that was I don't have any problems like with my schizophrenia at the moment, but sometimes I might laugh like for no reason, or like I might laugh like, and you might not know the reason why I'm laughing or something like that. It's just things in my head and stuff like that. So don't worry about that. So it says you can get schizophrenia from genetic inheritance. So you can get it off your parents, or maybe someone in your family has schizophrenia or something like that. Or there's also when you do have schizophrenia, there's a difference in your brain chemistry, like the chemicals in your brain, they function differently to what would be perceived as normal. So that's the whole thing about schizophrenia. It's like chemical imbalance, dopamine, hallucinations, delusions, stuff like that. And people say that like it means, hold on, something on my phone just clicked on. People say that it's like you're crazy or something, but you know, anyone can get schizophrenia. You don't have to be like the most violent, disturbed person ever. Like anyone can get schizophrenia. I mean, like, whether you're diagnosed or not diagnosed, you know, 1 in 100 people, they have it in their life. Like, it's not like it's a it's like a rare thing, or it's like when you've done something really bad. Like, you know, people, I haven't done anything that's like really bad in my life. I haven't hurt no one like that. I haven't like hurt myself like that. I haven't hurt no one else like that. But I have been diagnosed with schizophrenia, even when I haven't done something violent or tried to kill myself or something like that. Like, I've been suicidal and I've tried to like, you know, kind of like commit suicide, but I've never done stuff like violence or something, you know what I mean? So the only violence I've done is that I've been in a school fight when I was a kid, like a teenager. Like when I was a teenager, a kid, and I was in a school fight and I punched someone. So that was one violent act when I was a kid. So I was in a school fight and then I punched someone and then that's what happened. So, hold on, give me a moment. So except from that, I don't really have any history of violence or anything that makes me a dangerous person, even with my schizophrenia. So, what happened with me, for example, like with the mental health team, was that they put me on antipsychotics. And I think I had like an older generation antipsychotics, and then they put me on a newer generation, which was the newer generation was the new paliperidone. It was like a depot thing, like an injection. So, I'd been injected before with the injection, but I want to talk about the one that happened like more recently, where I was in London. I'm still in London right now. I was in London, and I got put in hospital, and what happened was I was more energized, like I was all over the place. I was walking around the streets, and like, I was just in my mind, and I wasn't paying attention to anything that was going on. I had my phone, I just had my phone and my headphones or something, and I was walking around the street just going way far out of home. Like I was nowhere near home. Like I just walked way far and my mind was gone. And I was just touching plants and stuff, like just walking around happy, listening to music, touching plants and stuff like that. And I walked the whole way all over to some random, I think it was some government building or something. I didn't even know what that was. And so I climbed the fence and the gate thing, and I went into that private property. I don't know if it's a government building or it's something. It looked like a government building. I don't know what it was. But I went into that private property, and there was like a security guard or something. And then like I talked to the security guard. I was thinking that this was like some kind of like operation that I needed to be in or something. This was like some kind of military operation that I needed to be in, because I think I was being delusional or I was hallucinating or something. So the guy he didn't know what to do. He just called, I think he called the police or security or something, and then he just tried to like not talk to me or anything. He just tried to like distance himself from me. So I walked away and I laid on the ground, and I looked at the sky, just laid on the ground. It was the grass, and I just lay there like that, and tried to rest and stuff, and then the police came and they took me to hospital and stuff like that. So I was feeling more, at the time when I was being like that, I was feeling more healthy and more energized, and I had lots of energy and I could walk for ages, do everything. So first I went to like the general hospital. I think it's called General Hospital or something, and they just kept me in the emergency room, and I was in the emergency room with my phone and my headphones, and I was listening to music, I was rapping, singing, just being on Facebook, Instagram, just chilling. I didn't have my top on, nothing. And I was just chilling there. And then they said, okay, well, now there was a mental health nurse where she would sit next to me. She sat next to me, and she would just watch me and make sure that I'm safe and everything. So she just stayed there next to me and I was safe. She checked. She was just watching me to see if I'm gonna be okay and things like that. So they brought out like a tray with like coffee and stuff like that. So I drank the coffee, and then I started singing music, rapping music again in the emergency room. So what happened after that was they decided, okay, well, I need to go to the mental hospital. But they didn't actually tell me that I'm going to go to the mental hospital. What they said I think it's because I might have been like too unwell, or I might have been too mentally ill to hear them say like stuff like, we're gonna take you to a mental hospital or something like that. So I think that's why they didn't tell me. But then, so they put me in the wheelchair kind of thing, and then they took me to the mental hospital, which was just walking distance from the actual emergency room, general hospital kind of thing. So they took me there, and they took my whatever. I didn't even have shoes on, because when I went in the actual hospital, I took my shoes off and I left it at the waiting room, and then someone must have took them or something, so I didn't have any shoes on. So I just had trousers, I had my jacket on, my Burberry jacket on, and I had the trousers. So they took me to the mental hospital, and then what happened? Yeah, I was just there. I had no personal belongings. They took my phone from me, and I just stayed there. And then they put me on. They said they're gonna give me some pills to give me some medication, like give me, I don't know. I think it was risperidone or something. So they gave me risperidone or something like that. I don't know what it was. No, it must have not been risperidone. I'm not sure what that would be, but they gave me some. Hold on. They gave me something, and but what I did when they gave me it, they put it in the little paper cup bucket kind of little pill thing that they put it in, and then you're supposed to go like that and take it, and then drink water and then swallow it. So what I did was I was waiting at the medicine cabinet in the mental hospital, the medicine cabinet in the hospital, and they gave me the pill in that little paper bucket kind of thing, and they just gave it to me. And then, like, at the time, I just thought that the medication was bad. I just thought that, like, you're not supposed to take, like, pills. You're not supposed to take psychiatric medication. You're not supposed to take things like it's drugs or something. So I was so angry that he gave it to me, and I just threw it on the floor. I just went like, hold on. Okay, this is like just what do you call it? Like what do you call it? Like one of these cake things. This is just like from a cake thing. It's like a bakery cake thing. So I'll just use this as an example. So they gave me the medication, and then I had my little paper cup thing, and then I just like threw it on the ground, like just like threw it on the ground. And then after that, they were like, oh my gosh. And he says, like, why did you do that or something? And, at the time, I think I was going through psychosis. So I was delusional, I don't know if I was hallucinating, but maybe I was hallucinating. But I can't remember seeing things or hearing things. But, I was kind of delusional. I could say that I was kind of delusional at the time, So, they knew my behavior was showing symptoms or something. So I would just pace around the hall. I'd just talk to myself. I was just 24/7 talking to myself, but I'll get sleep. But I'd wake up early in the morning and just start talking to myself and walking around the mental hospital. I sleep well, but I'd wake up early in the morning and then just go walk around the hospital and just talk to myself. And then I'll eat the food. I would respond to people when they talk to me, but I was just pacing around the hospital and talking to myself 24/7. So and then what happened? And then they gave me an injection because they saw when I threw the pills on the floor, like I wouldn't take the pills. So they tried to give me an injection, and then like there was like 5 mental health nurses that came who were ready to grab me and restrain me and hold me down and give me the injection because I wouldn't take the pills. So they said you have to take the injection or something, and I said, well, why don't we talk about this? Why don't we try to like negotiate this kind of stuff? And then they said, no, you have to take the medication, you have to take the injection. And then I said, well, no, first I want to talk about this. And then once I said that, they grabbed me and like they picked me up like with my arms and stuff. They grabbed my arms and like they picked me up and held me, and then like took me to my room and then like lay me on the bed and then held me down, and then like pulled my pants down, like so you know where my buttocks is, so they just pulled it like down like that, and then they got the injection and then they put it in and then they injected it. And then so that was when I got injected. And then after the injection they went away. They said, okay, well, how are you feeling? Do you want to talk or something like that? You know, I was kind of like angry because they want to talk after I got injected and I didn't want to get injected. But because at the time I didn't want any medication. I couldn't think of taking any medication. So, you know, I was angry. I was saying like, why didn't you let me talk to you before I took the medication? But no, they just restrained me and then injected me. So afterwards I walked out the bedroom and I went back to the like hallway kind of thing where like it's like a communal area, and there's like a TV room, and it's away from where the bedrooms are, so it's like a TV room and a hallway, and there's the place where you eat food. There's that room. There's that room where you eat food. So I went to eat my food. I went to go watch TV and all that kind of stuff, and I was in the hallway walking and talking to myself again. And then what happened was I realized whilst I was talking to myself in the hallway and, you know, just chilling, just walking and stuff like that, I noticed that the medication was starting to take effect, and my happiness levels, they were up high here, and then once the medication was kicking in, it just went all the way down to just normal. It just like from all the way up here, just happy, ecstatic, feeling great, energized, everything, and then it just went all the way down to just normal. That's it. It just went all the way down to just normal. And then I was just like, oh shit. And it wasn't like depressed, but it's not like, you know, good happiness. It's not even happiness at all. It's just normal. It's just like, just right there, flat, just normal, and like a robot or something. And then so you have to deal with the kind of stuff like, oh, you're not happy enough to deal with things, and you're not feeling great enough to like do whatever you need to do. It's more like it's all the good stuff is gone, and you're just dealing with more like functional stuff. So you can only do functional stuff, but you can't do like more recreational things. The only thing you don't have the pleasure, you don't have the feeling good stuff, you don't have the highness or anything. It's just you're able to function. That's the only thing you could do. You're just able to function, and that's not really that bad. But the side effects of the medication is what was like literally destroying me and stuff like that. You know, I was pissed off about like how my happiness, it was just taken away. It was just made into just normal stuff. But you know, that wasn't actually the bad stuff. What happened was I was getting severe side effects from the medication. So I had to tell the doctor, I tried to tell the mental health nurse and all that kind of stuff. And I had taken the medication before, that injection before, and it gave the same side effects. So, you know, I had to tell them, and I was still suffering. Even when they gave me the side effect medication, all that kind of stuff, I was still suffering from the really messed up side effects. You know, it's like a I don't know what it is that makes those side effects. It's like they just say it's like an antipsychotic and it's a mood stabilizer, but the side effects are so severe that you just have to tell someone. You have to like ask for help to like relieve yourself from these side effects. But anyways, what happened, they started giving me the side effect medication and the pills I take to relieve me of the side effects. And then it wasn't really working, but later on it kind of started to work. And then so I was dealing with that kind of stuff. I stayed there for like 2 years or something, got moved to like 3 hospitals, stayed there for like around 2 years, and then eventually I got taken back home, and then I was back to my mom's place. And what happened was hold on. Okay, so what happened was so I was coping more with my mental illness, my schizophrenia, and I didn't have I wasn't really suffering as much from the side effects, you know what I mean? So I wasn't suffering that much from the side effects. It was getting better and better, so it was getting easier for me to handle stuff. So what happened was I stayed at my mom's place and all that kind of stuff, and then recently I moved to my own property. I moved to my own place. My mom didn't want me in the house, and she said, I gotta leave. I gotta find my own place to live. So I had to go and ask and make sure that I can find a place to live, because my mom didn't want me to live with her anymore. And so I got help to find to get a place to live and stuff like that. So I'm not staying at my mom's house right now. I'm not staying at my mom's place anymore, and I'm in my own place. I pay the rent and stuff like that. I don't have anyone to take care of me. It's just I'm getting my own food. I'm paying my rent, all that kind of stuff, and so I'm kind of like independent or something, or getting to that level or something. But yeah, that's pretty much that. So now I want to tell you about the experiences I've had with schizophrenia. So I've told you about the whole story about what happened more recently, about like me being put in hospital. I was in my mum's place and then I got moved. I moved myself to my own place and stuff like that. So now I'll tell you the experiences of my schizophrenia. So hold on. You know what? I want to do this video, but it's kind of long, and I want to have a cigarette. Okay, I don't promote smoking. I don't do that, but it's like, people with schizophrenia, they have a more tendency to smoke tobacco. So I smoke tobacco. I don't take like drugs or nothing. I just I smoke tobacco, whatever. That's what I do. So I think it's what do you call it? It kind of it's like a habit or something. I don't know. It's like something I do or something. But anyways, I'll still do this video, but I think I'm gonna roll one and I'm gonna smoke one, maybe, if it doesn't affect me telling you about my experiences with schizophrenia. So let me just do that right now. Hold on. Okay, so for any of you that want to know, I don't know why anyone would want to know unless they just want to know about me, what videos I'm making and stuff like that. But I smoke multiple brands of tobacco. Like this is JPS players easy rolling tobacco. So it's just pouch tobacco. It's not pre-rolled cigarettes. It's just the pouch. It's just, hold on. It's just the tobacco itself. Okay. Not any papers or filters or anything. So I have to get the filters and the papers myself and roll it myself. So that's what I'm gonna do. Now actually, yeah, I put some out there already. So now I want to talk about I want to tell you about the experiences of schizophrenia. So with me, my symptoms are not exactly that severe. Like, even though my behavior and the things I do and like the way I act might make it seem like my symptoms are severe or something, but actually I don't experience many disorientating experiences or many disorientating symptoms. I can still do things like, if I wish to buy tobacco, or if I want food to eat, or if I just want to sleep or something, my schizophrenia is not going to stop me from doing those things. It's not going to stop me from going through my daily activities and doing everything I need to do to keep me well, happy, clean, and occupied. So I wouldn't say I wouldn't say my symptoms are severe, but I still have this illness. You know what I mean? I still have schizophrenia, and it affects me socially. It affects me in my capability to do things like have a job, and I don't know about fully take care of myself, but sometimes those times where I wouldn't shower, or I wouldn't take care of my personal hygiene or something. So yes, that's happened in the past, but it doesn't happen as much now. It doesn't really have that thing. It doesn't really have that issue. I don't have that issue really. So let me just kept some photos in there. So I want to tell you about some experiences I've been having with schizophrenia. But first, I'll tell you the symptoms that I get. Okay? Not that I get at the moment, but what I had in the past. So let me just roll this up, and I'll tell you about my symptoms. Now, I know that people talk about schizophrenia as in as you can hear voices, but I have not researched this myself. I have not learned or found out anything about this, about whether what I'm understanding, the symptoms I'm getting, whether it's voices or if it's thoughts. I don't know, because I don't actually hear voices. I don't actually hear voices. Like, for example, like I can hear someone speaking, but the thing is that I can what do you call it? I can have a thought, and that thought is like it can say something, like, so it's like a thinking. So it's like, let's say, intrusive thinking or intrusive thoughts, or I don't know, like let's say you had a thought, and then that thought was, oh, someone said this, or you had a thought and it says hello. So the thought says hello, but it's not a voice. It's a thought that's saying hello. So I've had that in the past. Like, I have stuff, I used to have stuff like my thoughts would talk to me. Like, I would have a thought and it would say hello. It would say, hi, I'm this person and I'm talking to you. But it isn't an actual voice. I can't hear anything. All I can hear is what's actually there. But it's not an actual voice. It's a thought that's speaking to me. So I used to have thoughts that are speaking to me. Okay? So, I've dealt with that for about for about 5 years. So I've had this I think I'll call it intrusive thoughts or either voices. I don't know what you call it, but I would communicate with these thoughts that are telling me stuff like these are actual people that are talking to me with thoughts. So I would communicate with these thoughts and I'll speak to them and have, whole conversations with these thoughts in my mind. And I would speak. If they said hello, I'll say hi. If they said hello, I would say hi back. And I'll just say that, out loud. I'll say it like hello, hi back. And I'll talk to them. So, I had that for over 4 years, 5 years. So, and people would see me and they'll say I have multiple personality disorder. But no, I think it's the schizophrenia. I don't think I have multiple personalities, because you saw people see me talking to myself, and it would seem like there's multiple people talking or something, or I'm talking to multiple people, but I don't think that's multiple personality disorder. I think that's actual. I think I was going through psychosis, which is that my schizophrenia. So yeah, but what else did I have? Sometimes, if I would, this isn't like very often, but there would be rare times. There would be rare times when I'll say, for some reason, I think about God, and then my whole vision would start turning to colors and stuff. Like my whole vision would start turning, like it would start getting purpley, it would start getting yellow, it would start getting all these colors. And then it was like, okay, something bad is gonna happen, so I'm gonna stop thinking about God, or else these colors are gonna get more intense and something would happen to me or something. So I just refrained and stopped myself from thinking about God, and then the colors would fade away and it would all go away. So I did that, and then it just went away. But that was only 2 times in my life, so I never did it. I never went through that anymore after that. So yeah, but it's not normal thinking. It's like I can think about God all the time, but it's when I'm putting my focus or something, or when I'm seeing that something is real or something, and then it starts messing around with my vision and stuff like that. But I haven't really hallucinated that much really in my life. I'm not one to hallucinate, even when I've taken stuff like drugs and stuff like that, and even when I've taken so many drugs. I've taken MDMA, I've taken cocaine, I've taken crack, I've smoked weed, I've what else? I've taken codeine, different pharmaceutical medications, but I'm not one to hallucinate. I just don't hallucinate. The only time I hallucinate was on MDMA. I took so much I took so much MDMA that I started to hallucinate, and it wasn't just normal hallucinations. I'd feel like I would be in my room, and then I would end up in outer space, seeing colors, seeing stars and galaxies, and my whole body taken into a different dimension. My whole body taken to a different dimension. And I would sort out codes and shit. And then I would come back in my bedroom, and then I can hear my mom outside of the room, and I'm like, holy shit, like, does she know that I've went to space or something? And then I look, and then like she hasn't responded or anything like that. So I'm like, okay, well, everything's cool, she doesn't know that the kind of stuff I've been going through. And then so I didn't want people to know, because I thought like, I would end up like just going to a different dimension or something. But that was because I had taken MDMA. You see, I'd taken so much MDMA that I started doing stuff like I would end up in different places in the world, and I would end up in places like it seemed like I was in outer space or something. And it wasn't just it wasn't just seeing it in my whole body, everything, like I'll be in outer space. I would not be in my room anymore. I would not be in any other place anymore. I would be in outer space. I'd be in wherever place I was that I was hallucinating. So that's what happened. And then it got extreme. Like sometimes I would lie down in my bed, and my mum used to tell me, like, she would tell me, okay, well, good night, and it's time to sleep and stuff like that. So I'd lie down and I'll go to sleep. I wouldn't go to sleep that time. I would look at the ceiling, and then I'll see this face on the ceiling. When I knew that at the time when I was hallucinating, I was delusional like that, I knew that I had to use my mind to make something